Welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Thoughts About Games. I'm your host, Gaming Jay, and today we're hopping into a puzzle game on the PlayStation 3 known as Critter Crunch. Critter Crunch sounds like a sugary breakfast cereal, don't you guys think? Like, Critter Crunch, you know? Like, I can imagine this guy being a mascot and some, like, dastardly kids not letting him get the cereal, but then, like, a toucan bird flies in and gets it or something like that. Critter Crunch, from Nabisco. Anyways, this is a puzzle game kind of in the theme of, like, Yoshi. Not Yoshi's Cookie, which is a separate puzzle game, but there was a puzzle game on the NES just called straight up Yoshi. It's kind of interesting. There's Yoshi and Yoshi's Cookie. But those are two separate games. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like every other Match'em game, you know, like Dr. Mario, or there was, like, I think there was a Wario's Woods was a game. Apparently, it's also like a game called Magical Drop, which... I mean, I don't know. I'd never heard of Magical Drop, but sure, why not? So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop in here. Now, I've never played this game before, and as you can see, I am clearly playing the demo. I kind of figured for the purposes of our 1001 series, I wasn't going to go and buy the full version of Critter Crunch, because the thing is, it's a downloadable-only title, and as we all know, downloadable-only titles almost never fairly drop in price. Like, this game is 10 years old. I could go buy on like almost any PS3 10-year-old game, and I could find it for like a couple bucks if I put my mind to it. This, they want like, what is it? $7.99, $14.99, some insane price. So that ain't happening, guys. My budget for retro games is I wait for them to be at least 10 years old, and then I spend $2 or $3 per game. So we're just going to go ahead, play the demo here today. We have an adventure or puzzles, and then a few other modes, which I'm actually having trouble seeing. I feel like the contrast is really off on this game, or maybe it's my TV, I don't know. We'll go ahead and try puzzle, though. Now, in this game, you take on the role of Biggs, which is a friendly forest dweller with an unending taste for critters. And, life. A precious and yet tumultuous journey from shrieking birth to screaming death. That doesn't bode well. A force which unites all the planet's organisms in an interconnected web of cause and effect. Eat or be eaten, I guess. Action, reaction. This game's getting so philosophical on us. Like, imagine eating and pooping. Imagine you went to play Tetris and they were like, you know, what does it mean to exist? And you're like, I just want to play a game of Tetris. Anyway... Okay, I'm a little off here. I thought you took over the role of Biggs, which is the little critter who's the mascot for this game. But let's just go with the story here for now. So hello, my name is Hank Hudson, and welcome to my nature show, The Unexplored Explored. Each species relies on another to ensure its survival, occupying a position on what I have coined the food chain. Nowhere on Earth is this delicate balance more apparent as the remote Crunchato-y island. Crunchato. This thing is written as if it could be a breakfast cereal, you know, a children's Saturday morning breakfast cereal. Home to virtually dozens of strange creatures. This guy's just like free falling out of low orbit with a rainbow parachute. Okay. That's what's fascinating is the Biggsliskakowus, or Biggs for short. This is the guy who I told you about, guys. Husky, ground-dwelling mammal engaged in one of the most curious rituals found in what I can call the animal kingdom. Each spring, the island is invaded by massive swarms of, oh god, I'm not even going to try and say it, critters, as they're more widely known. Yeah. And the sudden critter infestation marks the beginning of a puzzling odyssey undertaken by the male Biggs. Biggs is not alone, though. Okay, they're giving us all this, like, crazy backstory. Basically, there's 3 sizes of critters, and you need to feed the smaller ones to the bigger ones until the bigger ones explode from force feeding. And then you wipe away, the critters are the blocks. You guys will see. It's basically Dr. Mario, only with a twist, you know. Or it's like Tetris or Columns with a twist, you know. We don't need this, like, complicated backstory of critters. I mean, I guess there's no harm in doing this, but it's just funny. Like, imagine you went to play Tetris and there was some, like, you know, crazy backstory about, like, spies and, like, abstract reasoning and, like, metaphysical truths in reality. You know, it's a game about eating things. You know, Biggs, he's probably a cousin of Yoshi or something. He likes to stick his tongue out, slam animals into his gullet, and then, like, forcibly spit them back out until they die. Like, actually, you know, when you say it aloud, Yoshi's a monster. Like, imagine someone eating you, and then they didn't, like, bother digesting you. They just spat you out at such high speed that you, like, died on exit. That's what Yoshi literally does to creatures. So anyway, gameplay tutorial basics. Oops, I skipped the first screen already. Use your long stick to grab a critter. Okay, yep. And then you spit it out again. And see, so you can move guys around and you feed the smaller ones to the bigger ones. Boy, they're like really holding your hand here. When they developed this game, they must have been like, guys, like, nobody has ever seen a game as complicated as this. We can't just let the player figure it out. Like, we don't want people like throwing their controllers down in rage and being like, F this game, man. This game doesn't make sense. So we really got to hold people's hand. Nobody will figure out through trial and error that the little ones go in the bigger ones and then explode. It's a concept not yet seen in our lifetime. So see, you can go like this and kaboom. And there you go. And then what you can do is you can line up a bunch of these like fatter guys, and then you can feed 2 smaller guys to a fat guy, and then he wipes out all the little guys. And that's basically all there is to it. We can go like this and like this. So yeah, this is Critter Crunch. Simple concept, but interesting, I would say. We'll throw this guy here, and like that, like that. So now we're getting a lot of flies accumulating, which means we gotta start, oops. Oh, we made a food chain. Okay, I think if you feed guys of various sizes, hold on, so if we feed this guy to that, and then this guy to that, okay, I don't know. There's a food chain. I guess, you know what? I mocked the tutorial, but it was explained in the tutorial, and I was not really paying attention, but there you go. Okay, so if you line it up so there's a yellow guy and then a pink guy, and then you feed a fly to the yellow guy, then the pink guy will eat the yellow guy, and voila, Bob's your uncle. Boom. There we go. You must be signed into the PlayStation Network to upload your high score to the leaderboard. I don't want to do that. Okay. How intrusive. I'm playing a game here. I don't want to compete with the world. A world of young 12-year-olds who've played this game and gotten like the super highest score you could possibly get. The speedrunners. Barfing tutorial. Pop a chain that starts 8 critters long or more, and your son Smalls will show up. I have a son? A son I hardly knew. Okay, and we're gonna feed that. Kaboom! Oh, wait, my son looks just like me, and he winked at the screen. Feed Smalls, and you'll not only be a great dad, but you also get a hefty bonus. But once Smalls arrives, be quick about it. He's not very patient. Walk over to feed him and press O. Feed on your first visit to max out your points. We're feeding him Rainbow Barf. We're barfing into our son. This game is crazy. Okay. So apparently if you have a kid, you want to barf in his mouth. Good to know. You can always make him show up by popping another 8 critters. Once he's been fully fed, he won't need to be fed again for the rest of the level. So does not feeding him do anything? Look for this icon on the map to know Smalls is available and know if you've already fed him. Alright, so he's some kind of like bonus creature. So we're not only force feeding animals to each other, but then we're barfing into our own son's mouth. This game has got some stuff going on, I will say that. Oh, there we go. Now let's see. Let's do this, and this, and this, and this. Oh god, it's actually getting a little low here. We do this. Kaboom! Okay, that blew up a bunch of stuff. That's kind of good. So I guess the bombs will eat literally anything. So I could just do that and blow up all that stuff. Okay. So the bombs blow up anything. That's like 6. Let's feed this guy. And go ahead and feed that guy too. Kaboom! Oh! And our son is winking at us. Oh, we gotta barf in his mouth. Oh man, that was an intense barf, man. I felt that over here. It was just like, oh, we can get a food chain here. Go, go, go! Cool. So there's little like combo moves and stuff you can do, obviously. The core mechanics of it are pretty simple. Again, it's kind of, it's basically like a modern version of sort of Dr. Mario, Columns, Yoshi's Cookie even, in fact. It's like, I don't know what you'd call it. It's like a matching puzzle game, you know? Like we've seen this sort of, this kind of puzzle game many a time before throughout our gaming journey. Let's try and get our son back. I kind of want to barf in his mouth again. So we'll feed him like that. And then we'll... how can we do this? Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, no. Oh, everyone died. Okay. Oh, and he's wiggling his butt at the camera. All right. From Cruntaceous Island comes Critter Crunch. Like, I'm still shocked there's no cereal based on this guy. So, as I said at the outset of this video, we are playing a PlayStation 3 demo. And I actually really appreciate that demos exist. Oh, what's happening here? Oh, a giant watermelon. Catch the power food and see how many you have. I have 3 watermelons. So now what? Okay, now I have 6 watermelons. This is all the tutorial. I'm not doing anything. You have the power, press X to use a special ability, or square. Watermelon gives you 3 seeds. You can spit them up to pop critters. Oh, so you get like a little... Okay, you can just pop whoever you want. Cool. Done. So we're slowly unlocking more abilities. So it is more advanced than like some of the older puzzle games. I'll grant you that. I'll grant you that. You get a food chain going on here. Feed that guy and that guy. Kaboom! All right, here comes our son. There we go. Oh my God, we're almost dying. Do this. Do this. Okay, that did absolutely nothing. That didn't help anything. Oh, food chain. There we go. Do this and this and this. Oh, let's get this. Let's pop some of these guys. Kaboom! Kaboom! There we go. And okay, we're back to safety. Anyways, as I said, this is a PlayStation 3 demo, and as I also said, you know, the reason I didn't kind of track down the original game for this is it's a downloadable only title, and I'm really resistant to paying full price for these titles. Anything that's like 10 years old should be somewhat cheaper than it was the day it launched. That's my philosophy, you know. But when it comes to demos, interestingly, I feel like demos, I've said this before, kind of like something that's on the outs. Like, you don't see demos as much as you used to. And like, indeed, back in the day, like, I used to live off of shareware when I was a kid. I couldn't really afford many games, but I remember you could go to the video store near my house, and you could buy these shareware discs for like $5, and they'd have like 50 games on them. And they actually weren't really that good games, but it was like 50 games, and yeah, they were all demos and shareware, but like, it was actually kind of awesome to be able to like, you know, for $5, get 50 games, like 50 of anything for $5. It's a great deal, right? So that's what I used to do as a kid, and I would buy full versions of games, but I have to just like be selective and save up, you know. So like, I remember saving up for Duke Nukem 3D, and I bought it before I even had a computer that could run it, because I had a friend who did have a good enough computer, and I would take my copy over to his house, and we played at his house. So yeah. But when it comes to demos, you know, you don't see them as much anymore these days, and I've always kind of wondered, you know, like, I think companies are reluctant to make demos because they feel like demos cost them sales. But I don't know, like, do you guys think that's true? Like, if there had been like, have you ever bought a game that, like, you've literally thought, boy, if I had played this beforehand, I would not have bought it, you know? Like, has that happened to you recently? Where you've just sort of, like, regretted buying a game? And so if you had been able to play a demo, you would have not bought it? I actually think it's almost the opposite sometimes. I played a demo for Batman Arkham Asylum before I ever bought that game, and I remember when Batman Arkham Asylum was announced, I was kind of sort of disappointed in the announcement, because I was like, oh, a Batman game where you only get to hang around Arkham Asylum? That kind of sucks. It's too bad you can't go hang around Gotham, and like, it's too bad it's not like a bigger open world thing. Oh god, there's Biggs, barf! But when I played the demo for Arkham Asylum, it's like I totally realized I was wrong. I totally realized that the game is actually awesome, and I literally pre-ordered it. So the demo literally sold me the game in that case. And so I kind of don't buy into the idea that demos would cost us. I mean, I don't know. Maybe, you know, I haven't run the numbers. I don't know the stats. I'm sure companies collect this information. Maybe they can show me that demos actually do cost sales. But in my experience, demos have usually only sold me a game. Very, very rarely can I think of a case where, like, I would not have... Oh, he's on the other side now. Very rarely have I thought of a case where I would not have bought a game because I played the demo. Although I guess this is the case, but like, again, I didn't want to buy this game to begin with. If I wasn't doing this 1001 quest, there's no way I would have bought this game. The other thing that developers often say costs them sales are Let's Plays. You know, you guys heard this argument before that basically, you know, some companies are actually resistant to having their games be Let's Played or like streamed online and stuff, and it's because they think that people would rather watch someone else play the game than play it themselves. And I have to say that that's probably not completely untrue. I think that's a little more correct. Like, I think a demo could actually make you sales because people try the game. Someone who might not have bought it would think, oh my god, actually I do like this game. And yeah, maybe a couple people wouldn't buy the game who would have regretted it if they had. But I think what the demo does is it balances out, and probably what you end up getting are happier customers, because now people who would have been unhappy if they bought the game didn't buy the game, and and that's balanced out by people who may not have bought the game, but then once they tried it, they realized actually they really like it and they do want to buy it. So I think demos balance out. Let's Plays, I could kind of see maybe someone being like, well, I don't need to buy the game now. I just watch someone beat it. Why would I buy it? But at the same time, I also kind of have to think there's a little bit of the same stuff we were just saying with demos, where maybe it's the case that somebody... oh, we have a chili pepper. Oh, that wipes out a whole line. Awesome. Oh, and here comes my son, my hungry son. Feed me, blah, feed me, barf. I have to say, though, that I think that some people who watch Let's Plays, oh my god, some people who watch Let's Plays probably end up going and buying the game for the Let's Play that they're watching, so it might make sales as well. It might hinder sales, though. Like, I get the thing of, like, you know, story-based games. Developers of story-based games are usually very reluctant to let their games be Let's Played. Like Quantic Dreams, the company that makes, what do they make? They make, like, Heavy Rain and games like that. They have, like, a very strict policy about, like, no Let's Plays. Like, you're not allowed to Let's Play our games. We will copyright strike you. Which actually is a slight problem for us. Because one of Quantic Dream's games, Heavy Rain, which is a great game, is in the book 1,000 Games to Play Before You Die. I have no idea what I'm going to do when I finally get to that game, because they won't let people Let's Play it. So, you know, we've encountered this before, where we've had games that have been hard to play. Like there was that Starship Defense on the DS that I had to ask another YouTuber for footage from. There was City of Heroes, which doesn't exist anymore, right? So, like, we couldn't actually play that one. Now there's Heavy Rain. I have played it before, and I know start to finish kind of what the game is like, and I enjoy it and so on. But oh, we passed the demo. Oh my god! Look, there's a Mr. Critter soft drink. There you go. So I know Heavy Rain, but I just don't know how I'm gonna put it on my channel because I can't do a Let's Play or they'll copyright strike my game. So I don't know. But oh well, you know, we've beat the game. So I guess, you know, like if you buy the full version, you get access to some cool multiplayer modes. There's co-op, there's competitive, there's more power-ups and stuff like that. There's an island to explore. There's kind of like more stuff going on here. But at the end of the day, it's basically just sort of the puzzle game. The puzzle game that we saw. You eat critters, you spit them out. You know, you feed the smaller ones to the bigger ones in some like nightmarish scenario of force feeding until everything dies from overeating. And you feed your son barf. And you apparently become, you get your face on the $1 bill. Which is like, wasn't that what the Joker wanted in the very first Tim Burton Batman movie? Vicky Vale's like, what do you want? And he's like, my face on the $1 bill, you know? That's like supervillain shit. Like Critter Crunch here, Mr. Biggs, or Biggs, or whatever the heck your name is, you are like the Joker in disguise, my friend. So, you know, this game is one of the games of the book 1,000 Video Games You Must Play Before You Die. I think that this is a very solid puzzle game. I think it has interesting features. It has interesting power-ups. You know, it has some multiplayer options too. It's fast to pick up, it's difficult to master, but it has high production value. It seems kid-friendly, but I could see adults enjoying this too. The humor borderlines on being a little cheesy, but actually, it's as an adult, it's not bad. It's not bad. I've seen worse, I guess. It's a 10-year-old game, so it's not new by any stretch. It is technically an old game at this point. But, I don't know if I necessarily say it's a must-play. Like, it's not old enough to be historically important. It's not like Tetris, which was like the first puzzle game, you know? And like, we have puzzles. We haven't checked this out. So you have 5 puzzles in the demo you can try out. Now let's just try number 5. So it's not like, Tetris or Columns that were like, the first of the first. So it's like they were actually pretty important. Okay. So interestingly, so you only have the pieces here, and you have to figure out how to like clear the whole board. So this is interesting. Another game mode. They're trying, guys. They're trying to like give you some features and options. Out of moves. Oh, and you only have so many moves too. Interesting. Oh, and all the critters come and eat you. Okay. Hold on. Let's and I didn't catch what it said there. It said scientists have confirmed something. Let's just check out puzzle 1 while I finish wrapping up here. So yeah, so it's technically an old game, but it's not what I would call like an old game. It's a good game, but I wouldn't say it's a great game. It's what else could you say about it? It's not, I don't think it's historically important in that it did anything new, but it obviously built off the legacy of Dr. Mario and Tetris and Yoshi and all those games like that. So I don't know. My final thought on this is basically this. Look, if you oh wait, hold on. This is an interesting puzzle here. See this guy. So basically, if you like puzzle games and you never played this game before, it's a perfectly acceptable game to check out. But if you have played puzzle games before, and they're not totally your thing, I don't think there's anything about this game that necessarily means you have to go check it out. It's basically just a solid modern puzzle game, but it's not old enough, or it didn't do anything so unique that it entails that you have to go check it out. So basically that's it. If you look really hard, you can see Biggs says a blessing to the gods of Cranchata Island before each and every jewel he eats. Anyway. So yeah, interesting game. I wouldn't call it a must-play, but those are my thoughts. I mean, I have a hard time calling any game that's too modern a must-play. It has to do something pretty unique, in my opinion, for it to count as a must-play. Hold on. I think I can actually pass this level. I want to have one more shot of this before we actually wrap up here, guys. So basically, what you have to do is this, and is that enough? Yeah! Boom! All right, we ended on a butt-wiggling victory. Guys, everything that's, after everything is said and done, it's an interesting game. So what do you guys think of Critter Crunch here? Do you think it's a game that is kind of interesting and fun? Have you yourself played it? Would you consider it a must-play, or is it just sort of like, it's a solid puzzle game, sort of the same idea that I had for it? Whatever the case may be, let me know in the comments down below. And as always, guys, I hope whatever you think of the game today has entertained you. If it has, don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because I'll be back soon with yet another game in the ongoing quest to play through the book. 1,001 games you must play before you die. And look at that, I just solved another puzzle for you guys. All right, guys. Until next time, you take care of yourselves, and peace.